Hey family, it's Grandma Niani, Gigi. I'm up on 13th Street at the Hill. Tomorrow I will begin my new routine, which will be to go around the corner and come up the hill the second time. I believe I'm ready to add the second hill climb because I came up today and it was fairly easy. I didn't feel winded and exhausted this time coming up 13th Street, so I'll add it and do 13th Street twice. I see a lot of people do that. They will use hills as part of their health routine, and they'll do several repetitions of a hill. So 13th Street will be starting tomorrow 2 times, as Daddy said. Don't say 2 times, say twice. I feel fine. It's a beautiful day. Other than my heartache due to the passing of Justice RBG, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm hoping we can get past this Supreme Court dilemma and try to get, get Biden and Harris in the White House, because things aren't looking great. But right now, I'm just going to hope that we can do it. I'm still ready to be out there, be active, and mobilize in any way I can. And as we discussed yesterday on the family call, please get your passports ready. Let's start looking at destinations and come up with a viable plan B, be it Suriname, Curacao, Panama, Ghana, whatever. But we need to be serious about it. In the meantime, let's hit a family tidbit. How about talking about D.C.? I kind of spoke about D.C. Residents having an arrogance. And I find it across the generations, less with the young people today. But I also find it spanning economic groups. There's something about being a Black Washingtonian that puts us in a certain kind of mindset that I've never seen or experienced with any other person, any other Black person from anywhere else. I was doing research, and there was a scholar named James Holloway. He wrote about Howard University being part of that apex of intellectual government, that's federal government, international with the embassies, and DC being a free city pre-emancipation. So some of that arrogance is rooted there. And the fact that we had so many intersections. The poorest lived in the same communities with the educated and the wealthy, the business people. There were no huge distinctions, economic distinctions. You probably, if you were a service person, a laborer, a messenger, lived next door to Charles Hamilton Houston's family, or Dr. Drew's family, or Colonel West Hamilton's family. Look at Duke Ellington. His father was in the service industry, but see how he emerged. So we can talk more about DC arrogance. And I can talk about my own family. Daddy's family was poor. They were dirt poor. We talked about that before when I said they had to leave and run out and escape the landlords at late at night. But Daddy talked about how they always were taught to take care of each other. His father instilled that in him. Daddy tells a story about being a little boy, and he and his father went over to the Supreme Court construction. The Supreme Court building wasn't always there. When they were building that huge court, Daddy and his father would go out early in the morning and pick up scraps of wood so they could take it home so their mother could have wood to burn in the stove. And Daddy said one day, it was bitter cold, and he and his daddy, he said, me and Papa were up at the Supreme Court building, and he said, we loaded up that wagon. We loaded it up. loaded it up. And he said, we were on our way back home and the wagon broke down. And he said, Papa said, son, I have to go to work, but I need you to get this wood home. And Daddy said he was about 9 or 10 years old. And he had to reload that wagon and drag that wood all the way from the Supreme Court building to First and P Northwest. And he said he pulled and he would haul and tug, and sometimes he'd fall down, but he'd get back up because he knew he had to get that wood home to his poor mama, and he had promised Papa. And you know, every time Daddy told that story, he got younger and the load got bigger. I think the last time he told it, he said he was about 4 years old. And I said, Daddy, I think you have to stop telling that story, because the next time you tell it, you're going to say you were an infant. But I do know he was telling the truth. Sometimes the truth gets exaggerated. But Daddy had to get that wood home to his mother. And he was very proud of that he was able to help Papa, as he and his older brother Raymond did. They were the two brothers who were the ones who had to take care of the younger siblings. And my grandmother Viola had 10 children. 2 died when they were still children. So 8 lived. And you can imagine what it took to keep 8 people going. Wow. I have a lot more to say about my dad, his family, and the intersection between Dad's family and Mom's family. Because, you know, Daddy knew Mom's family before he knew Mom. He was introduced to Mom by Grandma Gant. So we'll talk about that next time. In the meantime, get those passports. Let's find a place to go, just in case. But let's fight for a victory in November. And let's hope that all the stars, God, goddesses, that everything lines up so we can get this orange motherfucker out of the, excuse my language, so we can get this orange motherfucker out of the White House. Yeah, I said it. Okay. I'm going to keep on walking, and I'll check in with you folks next week as I make the hill twice. Stay woke, stay safe. It's Gigi out.